Welcome again. My name is Stephanie Wolf, and I am the Membership Relations Coordinator. It's great to have so many activists and supporters tuning in for today's event hosted by Population Connection Action Fund. During today's event, our field team will outline our 2026 Fight for Her campaign. On the call, we are joined by Rebecca Harrington, Senior Director of Advocacy and Outreach, Lauren Salamiri, our National Field Director, and Kim Ip, our new Regional Field Organizer based in New Hampshire. After we hear from our organizers, our Senior Vice President for Government and Political Affairs, Brian Dixon, will introduce Representative Chris Pappas to share his roadmap for the upcoming election. As we progress through this event, if you have questions for our panelists, please drop them in the Q&A box that is found at the bottom of your screen. We will follow up via email with the presentation slides and access to the chat box discussion. Those are all my housekeeping items. I'm going to send it over to Brian, who has a very important announcement.
Not sure how important. I just wanted to apologize for the short notice rescheduling of this event because, it's one of the um, confounding facts of life in DC that the congressional schedule changes all the time. And again, yesterday it changed, and we now have to wait. The congressman can't join until 3:30, so we're going to shift the original order we had planned. But I hope that's not a problem for anyone. And we're looking forward to having the congressman join us in half an hour or so. And until then, I'm going to turn it over to Rebecca and Lauren.
Thanks, Brian. And thanks to everyone for joining us today. We're really excited to be here in this virtual space with you. To start, we're going to do another little fun poll in the chat. We're curious to hear what is most motivating folks right now as all of these terrible things are happening in our country and the world. Are you most motivated by a resistance effort, like going to a rally or a protest? Are you doing mutual aid in your community? Is coming to an event like this the most motivating thing you're doing? Or is going to an event with your senator something that you are really looking forward to? Oh, I guess we're doing a real poll too. All right. It's great to see that a lot of people are super motivated and ready to resist. Lauren sharing resistance and also mutual aid. Feel free to keep dropping in the chat box how you're staying engaged with your community and what you're doing to keep going during these troubling times. Thanks for participating. So we're so thrilled today to be joined by Congressman Pappas, who is such a champion for global reproductive health and rights and also of the Fight for Her campaign. He's always been so willing to meet with our activists, speak at events, and be an outspoken advocate for reproductive health and rights around the world, including here in the US. I think, as we're all very well aware, this last year has been really tough for the issues we care so much about, with the Trump-Vance administration doing everything they can to destroy access to reproductive health care around the world. Since January of 2025, which feels like so much longer ago than just 1 year, they have frozen global reproductive health funding, drastically expanded the global gag rule, and are continuing to hold $10 million worth of contraceptives hostage in a Belgian warehouse. It's estimated that over the last year, with no reproductive health funding flowing to organizations and clinics around the world, no US aid flowing, that 47.6 million women and couples have been denied modern contraceptives, resulting in 17.1 million unintended pregnancies and 34,000 preventable pregnancy-related deaths. And the reports we're hearing from partners on the ground is that the loss of U.S. family planning and reproductive health care funding has had devastating consequences for lives, for programs, and for communities, with providers not identifying themselves due to stigma, with healthcare facilities closing their doors, with fear of associating with other organizations that are known to work on reproductive health care issues, and civil society organizations being denied their registration permits. And with the recent expansion of the global gag rule, broader restrictions will be placed on U.S. foreign assistance going forward. This expansion covers all non-military U.S. foreign aid with diversity, equity, and inclusion, and the undefined gender ideology programs being specific targets of the policy, which appears to include foreign and US-based non-governmental organizations, multilateral organizations, and foreign governments. And while we're still figuring out the ins and outs of the policy and how it will be implemented, we know from previous versions of the gag rule that it leads to more unintended pregnancies, more unsafe abortions, and needless injury and death from pregnancy-related causes. It also leads to a chilling effect that causes organizations to overcomply and eliminate critical programs. So that's a very bleak picture. And while things are for sure bleak right now, we here at Population Connection Action Fund are more motivated than ever to hit the ground in 4 specific communities around the country, in Tucson, in Las Vegas, in the Research Triangle, and in southern New Hampshire. And we're looking to build as much power and momentum as possible for global reproductive health and rights. We'll be educating and mobilizing these communities throughout this year. We'll be working to build strong leaders and to ensure strong turnout to the midterms this coming November. So if you live in any of these communities, talk to us. We'd love to have you join us. And even if you don't, there are plenty of things you can do to support the campaign. So just sign the Join the Fight for Her form will drop at some point during this event, or reach out to Lauren or myself or Kim if you're in New Hampshire, and we'll plug you in to as many things as we can. So on that note, I'll turn it over to Lauren to share more of what we're doing on the ground in these 4 places.
Thanks, Rebecca. So I know that is a harrowing overview of what's happened in the past year with global reproductive health and rights. We've all seen the headlines about the foreign assistance cuts and freezes, and I'm sure everyone is looking for a way to fight back and resist. So we are looking forward to giving you that opportunity here today. So we're going to look ahead to our Fight for Her 2026 campaign and where we're headed. So as Rebecca mentioned, we are relaunching the Fight for Her campaign, and we are working in 4 states: Nevada, North Carolina, New Hampshire, and Arizona. And we have great organizers this year who are on the ground already. They're building relationships with volunteers, with community members, with other groups who are resisting the efforts of the Trump-Vance administration to restrict reproductive health care in the United States and overseas. And so we're really excited about these organizers and the work that they're going to do and that they're already doing. We are going to be developing relationships with volunteers in the community. So Fight for Her volunteers who are on campuses or students or community members and are looking to develop their skill set. We're going to grow the campaign to reach and mobilize more and more people who care about reproductive health and rights at home and around the world. We're going to scale up the campaign to train and upskill these volunteers to take on more leadership and get more people involved in Fight for Her. And then as we get closer to the midterm elections, we're going to GOTV, get out the vote, and we're going to hit the pavement for voter education and mobilization ahead of these elections. So that's kind of like the broad span of what the campaign is going to be doing in the months to come. And we're really excited about all the things that are going to be coming down the pipeline, and we hope that everyone will join us in this work. And part of what we're going to be doing in this effort, and part of what we're doing here today, that everyone is so excited to hear from Congressman Pappas, is working with our champions and uplifting the great work that they're doing to defend reproductive health and rights. And we want to show them how much we appreciate what they're doing. And we're really grateful and honored to have had such a long-standing relationship with the congressman. We've been working with him since his campaign in 2018, and we're thrilled to support him in his campaign for the Senate seat. He's an outspoken champion on reproductive health and rights in New Hampshire and across the United States and also around the world. And we're so grateful for everything that he's doing as he is still a member of Congress and as he is heading hopefully to the Senate. And we're very excited about all of that. And we look forward to continuing to support him and lift him up. And so we hope that you all will join us in the fight for her to get involved to help us defend reproductive health and rights. This is something that we all need to do together to build a community who is ready to resist against the Trump and Vance administration's efforts to dismantle the reproductive health care in the United States and to outsource their horrible anti-choice policies overseas. And so to make a difference, we'll all come together in the coming months ahead of November. We have a ton of actions coming up. And so we would love to have your support. So if you have a cell phone with you, you can take it out and open your camera application and you can scan the QR code on the screen. If you don't have a cell phone, that's fine. Of course, we have other ways for you to sign the pledge. So my colleague Stephanie is going to drop a link in the chat and you can fill out the pledge to fight for her there. And we will be in touch with you about what you can do in your community, or if not, then virtually, and how you can get involved with us. And with that, we have a second poll that my colleague is going to put in the chat. And I'm curious to hear from all of you about what types of activities get you excited to be involved. If it is phone banking or get out the vote or anything like that. So yeah, we have attend Fight for Her events, attend a volunteer training, participate in get out the vote activities, phone banking. We'd love it if you selected all of the above and we knew you wanted to do everything we have to offer. Um, oh, this is so great. I'm so glad to see so many people are participating. Awesome. Well, it sounds like people are excited to attend Fight for Her events and also to participate in Get Out the Vote activities. Those are two really important actions that you can take. So we are thrilled to see that those have interest. So that's a bit of our overview on the Fight for Her campaign, what's happened in the last year in terms of global reproductive health and rights, and then where we're going as a campaign over the next couple of months. So we're going to open up for Q&A for now, and would love to see if there's the Q&A box that Stephanie mentioned at the beginning in her housekeeping spiel. So if folks have questions that they want to ask about our campaign, about the state of reproductive health and rights, feel free to drop those in there and we'll do open Q&A. And to facilitate our Q&A, we have our new New Hampshire organizer, Kim Ip, who is joining us. So for those of you in New Hampshire, you'll see Kim a lot. And Kim is going to facilitate some Q&A for us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lauren. So excited to work with all of you. We have a couple pre-posed questions from our chat. Question from Jane. How do you select the 4 locations? She's located in North Carolina.
Rebecca, do you want to
Wanna
take that one?
Lauren? Yeah, sure. So they're all places that we've organized and worked in before. They all have large universities with sizable student populations, campus groups, kind of like a built-in infrastructure for organizing, kind of built-in audiences for events and tabling and things like that. And there are also places where we've had active, like older activists who are not students, and worked with like-minded community groups like other reproductive rights groups, justice groups, community organizing groups, um, to best build power for global reproductive health and rights. There are also locations where we think that we could have, they're all historically battleground districts. So, places where we think we could have some level of influence in the outcome of elections. Those are kind of the main areas. And it's kind of gone back and forth over the last several years. We've been in as many as 10 locations. And this year we're in 4, the goal really being to go as deep as possible in those 4 locations rather than spreading our resources over a larger group of places.